Hello everyone, welcome to aplusbi. This channel is all about complex numbers, and we're going to be solving a system of equations with complex numbers. So z is a complex number, and we are given the absolute values of two numbers, z minus 1 and z, and we're going to be solving for z. If z was a real number, not complex, then we could probably proceed like z minus 1 is either 4 or negative 4. And then from here, you're going to get two z values. Obviously, that's not going to satisfy the second one, but that's not the case. So remember, in the lecture notes, we talked about the absolute value. What is the definition of the absolute value of x plus yi? It was the square root of x squared plus y squared. So you need to square the real part and the imaginary part and add them up, and then that gives you and then when you square root that, that gives you the absolute value, which is the distance from 0. So we're going to assume that z can be written as x plus yi. And then let's go ahead and plug it into the first equation, the absolute value of z minus 1. Now replace z with x plus yi, and then let's go ahead and put the real parts together like this. You don't have to use parentheses, but I just want to do it. And then that is equal to 4. Now by using the definition of absolute value, we can write this as the square root of x minus 1 squared plus y squared equals 4. Great, that's one of the equations that we have. Let's go ahead and find the other equation. Again, by substitution, replace z with x plus yi. So the absolute value of z is the same as the absolute value of x plus yi, which is the square root of x squared plus y squared by definition. And we're given that this is equal to square root of 17. So two of these values are basically given to us, and now we're supposed to find the number, the complex number that satisfies this. So our goal is to find z, which means finding x and y. I'm going to go ahead and show you how we can find it, and then I'll also show you a graph at the end, which is pretty interesting. So we're going to look at it from a geometric perspective too. So if you square both sides here and here, you get polynomial equations. Let's go ahead and do it. And how about doing the second equation first? X squared plus y squared equals 17. If you square both sides of the first equation, you get x minus 1 squared plus y squared equals 16. The reason why I wanted to do the second first is because I'm going to subtract these equations. Let's go ahead and subtract them. And as you know, subtraction is done by adding the opposite. So we're going to go ahead and put a minus sign here and then put a minus sign and then just add these. In other words, we're adding the opposite, and then it's going to look like this. First of all, y squared is going to cancel out, and we're going to end up with something like this, and this is going to be negative 16, and the sum is going to be 1. All right, now let's go ahead and expand the expression inside the parentheses. X squared minus 2x plus 1 equals 1. If you expand it and like negate everything inside or multiply by negative 1, you get this. X squared also cancels out, and we end up with 2x equals 2, which means x equals 1. Great. We got a single solution for x. There's only one solution for x. But does that mean there's only one value of y that corresponds to this? We'll see. Let's go ahead and take a look at one of these equations. You can call this number 1, and you can call this number 2 if you want. I'm going to use the first equation because it's easier. It's simpler. First equation says x squared plus y squared is equal to 17. And I do know that x is equal to 1. So why not substitute? 1 plus y squared equals 17. Y squared equals 16. Now, there is only one value for x, but there are two values for y because there are two numbers whose square equals 16. And those numbers are 4 and negative 4. And you know what that means? That means there are two solutions. We are looking for z, which can be written as x plus yi. So one of the solutions, z sub 1, is 1 plus 4i. I just use 1 with 4. And then the other solution, z sub 2, is going to be 1 minus 4i. I used 1 and negative 4. Make sense? So we got a total of two solutions, z sub 1 and z sub 2, because z could be expressed as x plus yi. Let's go ahead and take a look at the graph real quick and talk about the meaning of the system. So when we're given a system with absolute values, it usually means the graph of something. In this case, we're talking about two circles. And guess what? They intersect at exactly 2 points. And those points are 1, 4 and 1, -4, which are the solutions to our system. And this brings us to the end of this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you next time with another video. Until then, be safe, take care, and bye-bye.